You probably don't know this, but it's likely your top performers are polishing their resumes right now. Let me tell you why. And it's not for the reasons that you might think. Let me paint you a picture. I'm sitting in on a team meeting at this high-end steakhouse downtown, 90 minutes long, every single day before each shift. The manager goes table by table, server by server, reviewing yesterday's performance. Jessica, table 12, only ordered appetizers. No wine, no dessert. What happened? Marcus, your average ticket was down 8% from last Tuesday. Walk me through your approach. These servers, they have to average $9,000 in tips every single month. That's $108,000 a year in tips. Miss that number, and you're gone. No excuses, no second chances. The manager tells them if they can't make six figures here, they're costing us at least that much because they're failing our customers and failing to sell. Brutal? I don't know, maybe, but here's the reality. These servers love working there. They fight for shifts. They study the wine menu like a textbook. They memorize every ingredient in every dish. They make more money than many executives because the standard was clear, the expectation was high, and the mediocrity was not tolerated. Now let me tell you about every other restaurant in town. The servers show up late, disheveled. They don't even know the specials. They give half-hearted service, and they still get to keep their jobs. And guess which restaurant has the longest waiting list for both customers and employees? Yeah, the one with high standards, not the one with low expectations. But here's where most leaders get this completely backwards. They think they're being nice means lowering the bar. They think being understanding means accepting mediocrity. They think being supportive means carrying dead weight. That's wrong. Your high performers, they're not looking for easier standards, they're looking for higher ones. They want to work with other people who care, other people who go the extra distance, other people who deliver excellence. When you tolerate mediocrity, you're not being kind to the mediocre performer, you're being cruel to your stars. I learned this from Troy Aikman, the Hall of Fame quarterback. He talked about playing for the Dallas Cowboys under Jimmy Johnson during their championship years. He said, we were expected to win every single game. Not most games, not the quote-unquote winnable games, every game. Some players thrived under that pressure. Others melted. Others sulked. But the ones who couldn't handle it, they had to go. Not because they were bad people, but because they were in the wrong place. Troy said something that stuck with me. He said, other teams have that you win some, you lose some mentality. They look at the schedule and decide which games they can't win. The championship teams, they expect excellence from everybody, every single day. Here's what I see happening in businesses everywhere. The top 20% of performers are carrying the bottom 60%. In leadership, they're spending 80% of their time managing the bottom performers instead of developing the top ones. Your stars are watching. They're taking notes, and they're asking themselves, why am I working so hard when he gets paid the same for doing half the work? And eventually, they answer that question for themselves by finding somewhere else to work. Somewhere that values excellence, somewhere that expects it, and somewhere that rewards it. You want to keep your best people? Stop protecting your worst ones. You want to attract top talent? Create a culture where only top performers survive. So here's your 3-step formula. Pull out your Darren Daily Journal. You ready to write these down? Step 1, stock your team with people who actually want to be on your team. Not people who need a paycheck, not people who couldn't get hired elsewhere, people who are excited about your mission, about your standards, and about your culture. Step number 2, eject the dead weight. And I mean immediately. That person who shows up late, gone. That person who does the minimum, gone. That person who brings down team morale, gone. You're not running a charity, you're running a business. Step number 3, make sure everybody knows you will jettison dead weight. Your high performers need to see that excellence matters, that standards exist, that mediocrity has consequences. Because here's the truth. For high performers to trust you, they need to see you. Be decisive with poor performers. Not mean, not cruel, decisive. Your job as a leader isn't to make everybody comfortable. It is to make everybody excellent. And excellence is contagious. When you set the bar high, people rise to meet it. When you tolerate mediocrity, everybody sinks to that level. So ask yourself, what message are you sending with who you keep and who you let go? Your stars are watching, and they're making decisions based on what they see. So lead wisely. And if you're with me here, write hashtag excellence only in the comments below.